Hi, welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. It's a beautiful day today to talk about something that I reluctantly and actually said to myself I would never talk about. The reason why is because I don't feel that I want to be involved in the same field of all the other people who talk about, in my humble opinion, the nonsense of how to become successful. I get asked every day. For one thing, I don't feel as if I'm successful. And secondly, I don't believe wholeheartedly that there are steps that you can take to be successful. I just think that the journey of life is our journey. Whatever we do, how we do it, is a very personal thing. You can take steps to do this in spirituality. You can take steps to do this to become successful in a monetary way. That's what I'm talking about today. Whatever steps you take doesn't mean you're going to be successful in that field of work. And what does success mean when all's said and done? My valuation of success now is just to feel happy inside. That's the greatest success in my life. So it's a very difficult subject for me because I don't believe that success is a word that is measured in the same way. Therefore, why am I talking about success of being rich, famous? Why am I talking about it? Because I want to dispel some of those myths that so many people jump on board. I mean, I'm probably wrong here, but have you ever been kind of bitten in the energy of what he's just said, I think I should take that course, or I should listen to what he's saying because I want to be rich and famous and I want to make money and I want to make 100,000 a day and all of these nonsense videos that people buy into. And I think a lot of people are kind of addicted to the energy of wanting to be famous now. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody sees photos of people on beaches in beautiful places in the world, and I want that. And why, how do I get that? And thus there's a massive market out there where people are selling information for loads of money. And I laugh because I think that's how you're becoming rich. You're not actually sharing a secret. You're just sharing something that's making you rich. So people are buying into what you're saying, but actually you've not made your money from being rich by the things that you're talking about, but by what you're sharing and people are buying into. So you see what I mean? I mean, there are people out there who genuinely have worked hard and made money, and they've seen this opportunity to sell that to make money. And people will look at me and say, well, you're selling your crystals, you're talking about your crystals and selling them. Well, actually, that was never something that I ever planned in my life. My life was being a healer, and anybody will tell you if you know me, 16 years ago, most of my work was free. For 2 years, it was free, free. And I never wanted to charge. And it was funny because the charge only came when my first mentor said, hang on a minute, Mark, what about universal exchange? And she convinced me into charging, and then she was the woman who attacked me for charging. Work that out. But I realized I had to come to a point in my life that I have to charge because I got rid of the shop that I was working in doing the free work. And I got a tiny little room, and then I got the courage to start charging for my time, not for my work, not for the gift that I was sharing, as we all have. So I'm going to talk to you now about how my journey has taken shape, and through my discussion today about the workshop on success and making what you believe is success, not what I believe. But you can look at me and say, okay, Mark, you don't believe in success as the way I believe in it, but please share what you did to get to where you were now, and how you've grown in many ways, not only YouTube, but your clients and your website and all that. So I'm gonna share with you some things about my journey of how this has been created. I don't want any money for it. I'm not going to do a workshop on it and charge. I'm just going to share with you some of the points that I think might be able to help you along your journey. Not to be successful and make money, but just to give you an idea of what kind of worked for me. But I'm not saying it's going to work for you. So the reason why I'm saying it might not work for you is because you might go, you know what? I don't think I can do that. I think I want to go and pay $50 or $200 and listen to a guy who says I can be successful in a week. So everybody's different. Everybody wants different. Everybody, like diets. People want, I can't do a diet for a lifetime because that's my diet. A lifetime is a life-changing diet. So forget the word diet, change your life and live your life like that every day. Oh no, I don't want to do that, but I can do a 4-week diet, or I can do a 1-week diet, and that's okay. And then I can go back to eating crap again. And that's kind of similar to how people are when they're on the path of wanting to be successful, or a business person, or make loads of money, or be famous. So first of all, I always remember a guy saying, it's funny, but the harder I work, the more successful I'm becoming. Take note of that. How do people become successful overnight? I've read as a psychic and spiritual and a healer, reader and a one-to-one for many people who are coaches, people who are multi-billionaires. I mean, so wealthy you couldn't even imagine the noughts. Millionaires, people who are extremely famous. So I've got a really deep understanding of many different forms of people's life and how it happened. Okay, so I get to understand all of this over the years that I've worked. One thing I can honestly say, that when people claim to be successful overnight, I've got to say this to you. I'm really sorry, guys, but my humble opinion, what I've seen and spoken to of these people who claim to be successful overnight, I often point out to them and say, no, you weren't successful overnight. You actually worked to the point where you became successful on a certain day, that the whole of your life brought you to that point, to then all of a sudden it came to fruition. So it wasn't like you just did something and it became successful that night. Not at all. So first of all, wipe that out of any scenario. When anybody who says that I can make you rich in a day, really, guys, red flag, warning. Take that away. Don't listen to people like that, honestly. Or if you do, then you'll probably come to the conclusion that I've come to. You just wasted your time and your money. So how did all of this kind of happen? Well, I never wanted to be a healer. I never wanted to be a psychic. I never thought about it. As a kid, my mum passed away and my dad was abusive. So I didn't believe in a God or anything other than life being life. Okay, there is no, a man on a cloud or a spirit helping, guiding us, because my mum wouldn't have been taken away. My dad would have been, because he's the baddie, right? Okay, so I get to an age of 38 years old, and I've always been kind of a guy who runs around and tried different things, different jobs, and then I started realizing that I'm unemployable. So I had to do things for myself, and I created a business, and then I created different businesses, and people would say I was successful. No, I didn't have lots of money in the bank, but what I did have was a lot of staff, and I was running around panicking, having to pay their wage every day, and to the point that I couldn't cope with it anymore. It was too stressful. So I left all that behind and came to a magical mountain in Mias Pueblo. Surprise, surprise, all of a sudden I was entered into a new life, a new understanding, which was far more than I could ever possibly imagine. And I started to realize that there are synchronicities. Things are happening around. Whoa, what's all this? What? This is weird. Lights started going on and off as I walked under them. My furniture would move in my house. Like, seriously? What just happened there? And all of a sudden, And I realize now this had to have happened. All of these amazing synchronicities and weird things had to happen for me to be awoken to there's more to life than eating, drinking, sleeping and working. So now I have this new understanding about life, that there is more than what we think there is around us, and there's more happening and more synchronicities that are somebody else is playing a part in my life, and I can feel it's not just me. So I started on this journey of understanding it. From that moment on, I wanted to share that truth. I wanted to share my experience because I was so excited, so thrilled, so overjoyed every day that these synchronicities were happening, that I wanted to share that. And from there on, it became part of my journey, sharing, simply sharing, for no other reason than sharing. I didn't share because I wanted money. I shared because I wanted to share the truth that there is more to life. That's the honest to God's truth. I just wanted to share with everybody because I wanted to know partly if this is real. Because am I going mad or is this real? And then all of a sudden other people were saying, hey Mark, what you're saying is, it's true. Other people would say I was crazy, and I was getting that. Many people were thinking I'm going crazy. A lot of my family just kind of disowned me, didn't want to know, thought I was a charlatan and blah, 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 thinking I was making loads of money. What they didn't know is I wasn't charging for any of it. I did it from my heart because I was so excited and I want to know it was true. So I'm reading people's futures. I'm healing, doing healing work. I'm doing so much. People were coming with cancer and I was giving them healing. I opened my door to the world. If anybody had cancer, please come. And it was my way of giving back because my mum died of cancer. So all of these things were happening that I was learning. It was actually like a scientific project for 3 years because I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to know if this was real, if it was true. And I was getting confirmation all the time. People were saying, Mark, what you said to me in that reading, oh my God, it came true. And yes, I was getting things wrong, but not as wrong as what you'd think. It was like, oh Mark, you told me you said 2 and you thought it was 2 years, but actually it was 2 months to the day. So I was trying to, learn so hard about everything. So I was realizing that, hey Mark, your time, when you're seeing the times, they're not always accurate. So don't say it's 2 years, don't say it's 2 weeks, just say it could be in 2 weeks, two months, or maybe 2 years, but I see a 2, which means it's going to happen, and it's going to probably come in around about the second month or the second of a month, but this will happen because it's showing me. And then I became more and more engrossed in the understanding and to become a better reader. So I was sharing this information with everybody. And one day, a friend called Alina said to me, why don't you do a YouTube channel? And I said, oh no, I can't talk in front of a camera. I get scared. I went on blind date once and I made an idiot of myself in front of 11 million people. So I don't want to be on TV anymore. That was enough for me. It was an awful experience. We've talked about this before. TV really know how to make you look good or rip you to pieces. And I was ripped to pieces. Out of 2 days of filming, they took 1 minute and made me really bad. So I was the bad person. Anyway, besides that, I was nervous in front of a camera. I couldn't speak. But she said, Mark, do it because your message is beautiful. And I went, okay. So one day I decided to put this on, and I did my first video, and it was about lemons. So I took a lemon and said, I basically spoke my truth, what I learned from shamans and from what I've learned myself from lemons. And I said, lemons have a natural gift of absorbing negative energy. So this, my dear friends, is a thermometer for negative energy in your home. And to this day, I still don't know why, but it is the most powerful measuring stick for negative energy. So I have these all over my room, everywhere. I can pull as many down as you want because it shows me if I need to cleanse the room at any given moment. So I always buy fresh lemons all the time, or I pick them from the tree down there when it's lemon time. So I did that video. Hey, I did the video because it's just something that I know worked. And I know it worked because I'd been doing it for, I don't know, God knows how many years. So it was something that was in my daily practice. So I just shared that video. I didn't share it because I want to become famous. I didn't do the video because I want you to see me, how beautiful I am, and how you know, I want you to buy into me or buy into my crystals. No, I just did it because a friend said, just do it because people are going to learn from you and more people in the world are going to learn. So that's the first point I want to give you. The first point is, if you're going to do something because you want to be rich and famous, I don't believe that is the truth, and that's the path of real enlightenment or being successful. I believe that the first thing you should be doing is wanting to share something that you've learned and you want to share with love from your heart. If you do it primarily, number one reason is because you want to be rich and famous, then I say that's going to be an alarm bell, a red flag for anybody else to know what you're doing, right? So they're not going to buy into it unless you're a really good actor, and everybody buy, you know, so many people buy into stuff. But if you want to know the real essence of success, then that is that you look back on your life and you know everything you've done is because you've done it from your heart and you did it to share with the world. And from that moment on, if something becomes successful, then, oh my God, isn't that much more beautiful than knowing that you didn't do it because of money? You did it because you wanted to share it with the world. And the world now is saying thank you back in the way of this lemon. This means now that apparently 2.2 million people have seen the lemon video. Okay? From that 2.2 million, people have watched these videos, and it's been a beautiful creation of flow. And what I mean by that is, for me, what I've realized wholeheartedly, that from the essence of wanting to share your message of truth, the next thing is consistency. Consistency doesn't mean, oh, I've got to get up and do my mantra. I've got to get up and do this. Consistency means that you want to do it. It means that you get up every day and from a heart of feeling great that you want to share a message, that you want to do something to make the difference. So every day thereon, just about, I made a video, and I deleted many videos because I got a strike or 2 strikes. So I deleted God knows how many videos, maybe hundreds, because on a lot of them videos I talked about things that the government doesn't like, and if the government doesn't like it, the government is connected to the elite, which is connected to the system, which is connected to Google. So if you say something that goes against the system, they're going to knock you off YouTube, which we all know now. So I went through all the videos which had vaccines, talked about cancer, helping people with cancer, be careful with vaccines, be careful with pharmaceutical drugs, and so on. Anything that was going against, climate hoax, anything like that which went against the narrative, the mainstream media narrative, I took off. So what I'm saying is I did literally well over, I think, 1,000 videos plus. So now I think on here there's maybe 700-800 videos. I haven't counted lately, but you can see the consistency of my videos. But the consistency is not just doing them because I have to, but because I wanted to. So that is number 2. I believe number 2 is that you want to do it and you do it every day. Those 2 points of fact actually are the most important things in the world. It is not that the subject matter as much as your truth of what you've learned. And by doing that, people see that you are genuine. Now, can you become famous and can you have lots of likes and can you be rich very quick by just stealing somebody's work or sharing stuff that you know nothing about? I believe that success is not measured on that. Success is measured on what you do in your life and your effort you put into it. And that effort and that knowledge and that experience that you've experienced, that you've shared with the world, is true success. Because it's a bit like a robber breaking into somebody's house and stealing £1 million. That £1 million that robber holds in their hand becomes like sand. It will just drain out of their hands because that was never their money. That was never theirs. So whatever they do with that money will just simply disappear and go back to the right places. Just like the sand will disappear out of your hand from the knowledge that you steal from other people. Listen to all the nonsense and then use that, and it's not yours. So it just slips out of your hand and it becomes nothing. You never created anything from your life. You never studied, you never worked, you never experienced. And experience is the number one reason why I'm sharing this video. So my feeling is success is about your experience and how you share it with the world, and people feel that. And thus you become the lighthouse, that beautiful soul that looks back on their life and say, you know what, I shared my truth. And through that, success comes. And success by I mean is people saying, thank you, I appreciate what you've just done. If you believe success is having 100,000 likes or subscribers, then I believe you are really blinded by the mainstream thinking. Do you know what makes me happy? If somebody sends me a message and says, Mark, you have no idea that video that you made, how it changed my life. When I read a message like that, that is what success is to me. I have been in rooms where many years ago I said, come to listen to a talk. I sat there and there were, say, 100 chairs, and there were maybe 4 people who came, or 6. The excitement for me, for 4 or 6 people when I gave my talk, was equal to a room of 50 or 100 or 136 to be precise, my last circle night. If you judge success, your success, on the amount of people who are there, I think you've got it wrong. You've got it all wrong. Because to change one person's life for the better is so powerful. And when you realize to yourself that that one person who grasped what you said and changed their life, it is a ripple effect for their life and everybody else around them. So my understanding of success is completely different from most people's narrative. And I believe that when you are taking photographs of yourself on Instagram, of, you know, your bikini, and you're wanting to promote something completely different from that, that says a lot, that you're not really being true to what you're doing, but you're basically trying your best to manipulate in a gentle way people to see you, because whatever you're selling or whatever you're sharing isn't really the truth. I'll give you a for instance. I've got many people who come to me and say, how come your Mark Bajerski site is doing so well with crystals? And I said, because I don't have a pair of boobs, and I don't show my crystal with my big breasts and say, here, look at this new crystal. I just share the crystal. I share it because that's what's important, this crystal. And today I've been working with this crystal, and I have these crystals on my website, and they are incredible. They're powerful. They've got a Moldavite and clear quartz, and I share the information of how amazing this crystal is and what it does, not my breasts. So I think you've got to be truthful to yourself. And what I mean by that is, if you're thinking, I'm going to sell crystals, are you going to sell them because you want to be rich and famous, because you're selling crystals, because you want to be rich and famous, or do you want to sell crystals because you love them, work with them, and appreciate them, and understand their energy and their power? And when you speak about them, you speak about them with truth. Well, you know what this crystal does because you've worked with it. You see the difference? And I'm not just talking about a crystal. I'm talking about whatever you decide to do in your life. So whether you talk about a football, whether you talk about, I don't know, a painting, whether you talk about whatever it is you do, your yoga or you do it because you do it from love, and you share that message, and that message is felt by the right people. You see, I often see people who are very famous on Instagram and YouTube, and what they do is a 30-second video or a 20-second video, and it may reach 100,000, 500,000, a million, 2 million very quickly. But let me tell you something, guys. That short few-second video that was very cleverly made so the masses can see it is diluted to nothing, because it's watched for a second and it's disappeared and it's forgotten about. Whereas if you speak for 30 minutes about a subject like this one, I guarantee you, if you speak from your heart and you speak your truth and you share the wisdom of experience, that, my friends, touches the heart and lasts there forever. And that is true success and true message that is given. And that's my message today about what success is to me. I hope this message serves you well. I don't want to upset people and break people's bubbles. And if you want to say that's a load of crap because I made loads of money from that, then good for you. I'm happy for you. But in the end, you don't take money away with you. You don't take success away with you. What you take with you as a spirit when you leave this world is every single photograph that flashes in your eyes as you're passing into the light, is those moments when you read somebody's message that says, Mark, or whoever, you have no idea how you changed my life by what you wrote about. I felt your message. I know what you're saying, and I am now living that message and trying to be the better person. Because when you truly speak your message, you're not the message. You're just the messenger. Have a great day, guys, and thank you. With all my heart, I appreciate everything that you've done and how you care for me and how you've sent me messages daily and your thank yous. Now you know what I mean as success. Now you know what success is to me. This is success. Your love and your gift of what you share with me, how you've healed and strengthened your life and your children's life to be the better energies in this world, to be the better you, to make a difference, to make this world a better place. And that is what success is in my heart. It really, truly is. Everything else means nothing. It's just an illusion. What you take with you is your spirit and your experience. So be the best experience and make the difference in your life. And by doing that, you shine the same light to people that then change their life. And that, to me, is success. That's fortunes. That's wealth. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for everything you do. And of course, thank you for going to markbajerski.com and buying your genuine or authentic crystals, because I love working with them and I love sharing the experience, and I will always do that on this channel and on my new channel, Mark Bajerski Crystals. Have a great day, guys. Really mean that. And be the success that you are. Remember, You are successful. You are. Don't look on social media on numbers, on likes. That's all BS. It really is truly BS, because I have met all those famous people and they are so sad. 99% of them are so sad because all they're chasing for is more likes, is more people to love them. That's not success. Success is you loving yourself and knowing that you are happy being in your own body, in your own spirit. So be genuine to yourself. That's all that matters. Have a successful day, guys. Take care.